What is up, guys? It is your boy Gary back with another video and a little bit of a different format today. It's gonna be more of me talking. However, there's gonna be an accompanying document that goes along with this and covers everything that I am going over, also in more of a visual format with a couple of examples and so on. But let me preface this video by saying this video is going to be on video, which a lot of you guys are afraid of, which I totally understand. No one wants to be on video for anything. I mean, hell, if I hadn't done like over 100 Facebook Lives or something like that, like 90 to 100 Facebook Lives before I did this very one, I'd be terrified. And even then, I still get terrified, but that's okay. Because I record these videos, at least the time of this recording, on my smartphone. I have an iPhone 11, and I use a shotgun mic with a tripod. That whole setup, excluding the phone, is about, I think, $70, $80-ish. It is pretty cheap and pretty easy to go and access. You can just go to Best Buy, Amazon, all those things. But you don't need a professional camera, you don't need a DSLR, you don't need a professional videographer. If you have the money for one, definitely go and get one. It makes life a lot easier, saves you time editing, all that. But nonetheless, I'll have all the associated apps, all the tools, software, all that linked to the very bottom of the document. So if you do want access to those things, outside of me just maybe mentioning them in passing, then the document has all the answers. Basically what I'm saying is go and read the document that's coming with this video. Please, for the love of God. I spent like an hour making it. But anyway, let me get into some video ideas that are gonna help you guys close an extra like 2 to 3 deals a month, really consistently. But before we get too deep into that, what you need to know as a preface is about the KLT factor. I don't know how many of your brokers, coaches, team leads, or whoever taught you about that, because a good amount of people know what it is, but for the ones who don't, KLT means know, like, and trust. People need to know, like, and trust you to buy things from you. So each of these methods and each of these video ideas covers one or more of these content, or well, not one of these content, excuse me, one or more of these factors in the content. So using these three is going to be a baseline, so that way you can go and get your, you can go and base your content around it pretty much. You can be like, okay, well, yes, I want to provide value, blah, 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 I want to do this and that, but what does this content exactly cover? So that way I know what I'm doing and I know how to go and emphasize those aspects of it. So that way people are going to know, like, and trust you more. Because you'll notice that these things work out really, really well once you start getting recognized. Like, yes, it'll work out before and people are going to start watching your content more and more, and that's awesome. But once you start getting recognized, especially in public, I mean, if you still go out in public, this is during the COVID, whatever the hell thing, I still go out in public. So I get recognized a lot, actually, by a lot of realtors who are in Tampa because I'm really, really active and I post a lot of content. And they see me going out and partying and having fun and all that. And they see, and subconsciously what it's doing is showing that I'm a human being rather than just some evil marketer trying to take their money. It's showing that I'm out here having fun, enjoying life, and that I'm too a fellow human. I'm pretty sure I'm not a lizard person. I don't think I am. But anyway, you guys kind of get the point. You can go and create a lot of this content that's going to make you a local celebrity in a sense. So like, I mean, even before this, before this whole pandemic and whatever, for example, when I went to networking events, it reached a point where I was doing Facebook Live so often, like 3 times a week almost, like 3-4 times a week sometimes. And I would go to these events and get recognized by people who I'd barely met on Facebook, talked to a little bit in comments, or maybe messaged some. Like, oh my God, I love your content. I've seen everything. I really want to work with you. How can I get started? Blah, blah, blah. And yes, it got me business, and it still does get me business. But it's really designed to have more of that social clout. So that way people, once again, know, like, and trust you. You're going to hear me say that over and over again, because I'm going to beat it into your heads by the end of this, however long it's going to take video. But from there, a couple of video ideas, starting off with a really easy one, is an about me video. So everyone knows realtors want to talk all about themselves. I deal with you guys for a living. I already hear it all under the sun. I want everything to be about me, 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 me. I want to look cool and I want to look awesome and have this great lifestyle and attract people. Well, I'm here to tell you, you can do those things, Mr. or Mrs. Realtor. You can indeed. However, it needs to have a purpose. It needs to be able to move the needle forward. So when you're doing an about me video, you're not doing it like every other realtor does a post almost, where it's like, hey, are you looking for a realtor to buy, sell, invest with, work with me? Like, no one gives a shit. No one cares about you until they know what you can do for them. However, you can build that up simultaneously by creating this content and having this differentiating factor to yourself. Because ultimately, most people aren't doing video because of fear and inaction and analysis paralysis and every other excuse under the sun, excuse me. So by you putting this stuff out there, you're gonna be able to differentiate yourself from the rest of the pack tenfold. So what you can do is go and this About Me video, you can show your authentic personality, especially authenticity. I cannot stress that enough. That hits all 3 of the KLT. That is gonna sell you the most houses you've ever sold. When I had COVID, I had it, this is recorded in March of 2021. I had it in, I think, March of 2020. And I was out of commission for like 3 days because I was sitting there in bed just coughing up a lung and dying. And then, I just kind of got over it, whatever. I had sunlight, vitamin D, baby. But I digress. What was happening though was because I had such a surplus of content and so much shit that people could go and look at, from interviews, testimonials, me at networking events, yada yada. People were still able to go and build that relationship with me without ever having met me before. I mean, hell, I think over those like 3 days I was sick, just my Facebook profile alone booked like 6 or 7 appointments for me for like after I got better. I was like, hey, just give me a week, let me get better, all that. Told my team, I was like, hey, just push appointments back to next week. Like, let me just see how long it's gonna take, whatever. But I was able to book appointments just from having this content out. It's that powerful. So what you can do with this is you can go record this on your phone. It doesn't have to be that long. It really can just be like a couple minutes, all that. But you can just record it with your selfie, with your selfie camera. You can record it with a tripod. You can record it by setting your phone up against a salt and pepper shaker. I don't really care what you do. But you can record this video very quickly and just kind of go over yourself and your hobbies. And I'll tell you guys this. I'll mention editing a couple times in here, but editing is not as scary as it seems. Trust me, I was terrified of it. Hell, like the fact that I bought Adobe Premiere Pro, which is like a proper editing software, like high-level editing software, and I'm able to use it pretty competently and pretty much self-taught it in about 10 minutes. Pretty good testament. Like, I'm not tech savvy when it comes to video. Trust me. I have studied the living hell out of video to even be able to like scratch the surface of it. So what you can do also is you can hire a professional videographer. You can hire someone to go and like showcase you doing these different things, whether it's you, I don't know, maybe you run a Lamborghini just so you can look cool and feel special for a day, or maybe you go jet skiing and have some GoPro footage in there, or maybe you throw an event, which is even better, like a huge event, or maybe like a home buyer seminar or whatever it is, and have a videographer record the whole thing with people asking questions and all that, like kind of like in between, obviously kind of like look at different people's videos, and I'll have ones that are examples as well. Look at different people's videos for, different reference points and examples. Don't be afraid to do what someone else has already done. It's not that big of a deal. This shit isn't an intellectual property. An About Me video is, about you. It's not about anyone else. So go and use different things at your leisure. Then from there, you can usually pin these videos to Facebook, YouTube, all those different social media platforms, and pretty much have it as an intro point for when people see your page, when they open your page or your profile or your channel, whatever. This is one of the first things they see. They usually go and click that because it's probably gonna be a quick video, like 1-2 minute long video, maybe 3 minute, I don't know, 1 to 3 minute long video that's either professionally shot or just shot in your phone, whatever. It does not matter. It does not matter at all. You guys have got to understand that done is better than perfect. I am a perfectionist. However, I understand that I don't need to be. That's why I'm content using my tripod, my video app that is like the most expensive app on my phone. It's $15, so obviously for apps it's pricey, but whatever. My video app and my shotgun mic that is currently attached to my phone. That's why I'm content using those things. So what you can do is pretty much just go and use all those different techniques and tools and all that at your disposal. Put it out there and just let the world kind of see who you are. It's not difficult. Up next, we have interviews and testimonials. These are some of the best things I've ever done. You can go and really progress that trust factor, that trust and authority factor. I mean, authority is not part of the KLT, but you get the point. That trusting is going to come from videos, from video interviews and testimonials and all that. Like, yes, you can get your Zillow review and all that, and you can feel special because you got a Zillow review, even though it doesn't mean jack shit in the long run. Sorry to tell you, sorry to burst your bubble. But if you get a video, like if you get a client to do a video, which especially if they're really happy, they're likely going to do it. And here's a pro tip for you guys. Ask for video testimonials at their peak of high emotional, not volatility, but high emotional happiness. Like say it's closing day, or say you got an offer accepted or whatever, ask them for a video testimonial. I mean, honestly, I would say wait for closing because you don't want to count your eggs before they hatch. But nonetheless, make sure they're in a really good mood, get that video testimonial. Just at least, like, even if it doesn't work out, at least get them to talk about the experience working with you. Get them to talk about how you work so hard, blah, blah, blah. Like, ask them for their genuine thoughts, though. I always tell people whenever they record video testimonials for myself and my team, do not exaggerate, don't lie, don't do anything. Just tell your honest thoughts. I don't care if it's gonna hurt my feelings a little bit or something needs to be improved. Obviously, don't be too mean. Just tell me in private, but you get the point. And then from there, like these videos, you gotta understand, they're gonna far outperform a lot of the content that you post about yourself and your own skill set, because that comes from your own bias. Like, yes, we're all gonna like ourselves for the most part, at least I think. But when someone else talking about how much they like you or love you and your service is great, you're a member of their family, it is gonna skyrocket your results because people are seeing that someone is genuinely, authentically loving what you were doing for them. It's gonna help differentiate you a whole lot. These videos don't need to be long either. You can literally just have your client record them on their cell phone. Maybe if you want to, you could hire a videographer for it, or you have a videographer in your office. Doesn't really matter, but these videos can be very simple or as professional as you want. Personally, I recommend simple in that authentic feel, like usually from like a cell phone, because it makes people relate to those customers. They want to see people who, like people basically they get to see people's results and experiences working with you from their perspective, because they're going to want to see, okay, oh, this person's like me, they sound like me, they talk like me, or oh, they have the similar situation. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be exactly alike, but they're going to ultimately rely on those people to make a decision. Not every single time, but that's a pretty big indicator of it. And then from there, you have informational content. This is stuff like how-to videos. So if you want a couple of ideas for like how-to or why, how, what, when, where, why, all that shit, you'd be like, okay, well, why do you need a home inspector when buying a house? Or excuse me, why do you need a home inspection when you're going to buy a house? How to get pre-approved easily. It's a really good one. What to look for with REO or bank-owned properties. How to read an inspection report. How to pick the right realtor. You put in a couple of self-promos in that one. Just talking about yourself a little bit, but genuinely tell them how to pick a realtor. Tell them about all the things they have to go through and all that. Then from there, you can go and provide your resources and your network for prospects to be able to reach out to you, or for you to connect them to them. So, people like lenders, inspectors, roofers, etc. You can connect all these people. And I've seen some agents. One of my really good friends, a realtor. He used to run a team of like, I think 26 agents, and this guy had a laundry list of all of his referrals and connections, and he just had a whole fucking referral system going, and it was amazing. Like I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in my whole life. And that's something you can build up over time. Just build these different relationships. Have photographers, have lenders, obviously for obvious reasons. Roofers, inspectors, pool people, it doesn't matter. Landscaper, I don't give a shit what it is. Have all these resources, that way people can be put in touch by you, so that way they build this passive connection to you as the person to go to for resources and information. Yes, some of these people will just use you for that and never speak to you again, but that's the nature of prospecting. Keep it moving. Some of you guys hold on to this shit and you need to keep it moving. I'm gonna do a whole separate video on that, trust me. But keep it fucking moving. Stop relying on these people and stop trying to hold on for dear life. Then from there, what you can do is market updates. Everyone does market updates. It's a really simple thing that everyone just sends out as a shitty little email that looks like it was made in 2003. Do not do that anymore. What you need to do with your market updates is make them into videos. I know it sounds weird and try-hardy and whatever, but these are things that people never ever read unless they were really, really interested in buying a house or in that area. It doesn't matter. They never really read because it has to be a really high interest thing. But you can create a lower barrier of entry by making this into a video format, by describing what both sellers and buyers might go through and whatever the current market is in order to adapt to it, what they might need, leveraging your own or even other agents. I tell everyone all the time, if you have reference experience, leverage it. Leverage someone who's above you or at the level you want to be, and be able to use that information, that knowledge, to push yourself further ahead. I mean, whether it's free or paid, I don't care. I have free and paid mentors, some of which I've paid thousands of dollars to just put me ahead by like a couple of bits of knowledge, and it just slingshot me. There's nothing that I guess what's the best way to describe it? There's nothing that you don't already know in its fullest. That you can always get perspective from someone else. That's what I'm trying to say. You can do things like a neighborhood overview. That kind of goes hand in hand with it. But a neighborhood overview is a really, really amazing one, especially when you have like new construction or new neighborhoods in these up and coming areas. Like for example, if you're in Tampa, Wesley Chapel, North Tampa, that's a really, really blowing up and expanding area. Even South Tampa, those are areas that are really blowing up. So you can go and leverage those different things because location, location, location. People don't just buy the home, they buy the neighborhood and the area that it's in. So making a video on these like local events and these different things and different amenities or activities around the neighborhood, or even better yet, like say there is like a local event. Say there's like a, I don't know, maybe it's a yard sale. Honestly, it could be a yard sale. That's a really good one. And now that I just thought of it, it's a really like kind of home authentic-y one. But you can go and do a Facebook Live of you buying shit at a yard sale. Do a Facebook Live of you getting ice cream at the local neighborhood, I don't know, ice cream event. I couldn't tell you. Just, imagine a neighborhood, imagine its events, and go and do a Facebook Live there, or just go and pre-record it. It doesn't really matter. But you can use those things and leverage them. And then even there, what I would say is add in a couple of interviews with some of the neighbors. Like, do mini interviews with the neighbors and be like, hey, what are your thoughts on this part of the neighborhood? What are your thoughts on this, that? Well, it doesn't matter. Ask them like a quick question or a quick couple questions. Don't hold them up, please, for the love of God. Have some, restraint and some self-awareness and social calibration. But go and ask these questions, interview people, and get a feel for that neighborhood so that way others can get a feel for it as well. And just like kind of, all you have to do is just cut up that footage and just slap it in between. Once again, it doesn't need to be anything super professional. Obviously, just don't make sure it's like hot garbage. Like if it's hot garbage, then yeah. But obviously over time your video is gonna get better and better. If you look at my old Facebook Lives compared to like when I do them, but kind of seldomly now, they're really, really fucking trash when I first started. They're hot garbage, and I was always in my car recording it and all that. But then over time, I just got so comfortable with it that it was just a second nature to me to make it really good. And that's why, like, when I did want to dress up as like Joe Exotic, when that was a whole thing last year, I think Jesus Christ, I think I had like almost 90 Facebook Live views on that. And I was giving like actual value in that video. I'll have it linked on the document as well. But you get the point. There's so much you can do with it, and so many different tools that you can use in regards to these like neighborhood overviews and stuff like that, and these different events and Facebook Lives, which I'll get into in a moment. But then from there, you can also talk about schools, the vibe or the energy of the area, like genuine thoughts on it, as well as hot spots and different locales like shopping centers and fun activities. And also bonus points that they have like a really cool community or something like that has a lot of activities and all that. Usually like gated communities or just new construction, but it doesn't matter too much. Just go and cover those things. And then from there, my favorite thing is going live. This is by far the most versatile tool in your arsenal because of how you can use it. Because if you're getting this good following or you're trying to build it up, doing these lives frequently enough to not be overdoing it, but enough to give enough value and make enough of an impression, or even Q&A and local events, like I said, all that kind of stuff, it is going to make a world of difference. People are going to trust you. They're going to know, like, and trust you way fucking more because they're going to feel like they know you from seeing all this other content. They're going to like you from your personality, I hope. If you're an asshole, then, sucks to be you. You're not getting shit. Sorry to tell you. I'm not going to butter you up. And then from there, they'll trust you because they've seen your results. They see that you're someone who's posting constantly. They see you're out there. They need to see you're out there. Stop posting your stupid vacation pictures if that is all you're posting. It is okay to do that here and there. But I swear to God, I see some realtors who just post nonstop vacation or beach pics or bikini pics or abs and all that, whatever. Don't post any of that shit if you're not posting real estate alongside it. And even then, have some self-control. You have a business. This is not a hobby. Run this like a proper business. Stop running it like it's some little hobby that you're bored and doing just because you want some money. That's just the brutal honesty with it. So, basically what I'm saying is you can do all these different kinds of things. You can have a whole lot of fun with it. Make be creative with it. Have, once again, have fun. I know I repeated myself a couple times, but that's what I get for free balling this video. But what you want to do is just make something that's memorable and enjoyable and differentiates you. It doesn't have to be try hard differentiating. Literally you just doing video in a sales job is going to make a whole world of difference that you will never ever see anywhere else because no one else is doing it. Everyone's fucking lazy. Don't be lazy. So that being said, I'm done talking for right now. I have links to all the software, tools, everything like that I use in the description below. They're not affiliate. I wish they were because I want to make some money off of it, but it's not that big of a deal. Go and use these tools. Go and use these different practices. Make yourselves some motherfucking money, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace out.